Hey guys, my name is That Guy's Weird, but you already know that, and welcome back to Gaming's Last Life, and Happy New Year. So, for Gaming's Last Life this year, to start off on a big kick, I want to do Shovel Knight because this is a game that I've played so much, and I beat it actually not that long ago. I beat it in this review, and then I beat it on Xbox One a few months ago. And I always meant to go back to it and try to complete it, but there's just like some achievements in that game. I'm just like, no, I can't do this. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for all the support you gave me last year. It wasn't that much, really, but still, I got some support. So I'm hoping this year is a bit better and Gaming's Last Life will become somewhat popular. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna give you Shovel Knight. So yeah, I'll see you at the end. weclome Games was founded back in 2011 by a former WayForward Technologies director, Zine Valesco, then named it weclome Games. Then back in 2013, Shovel Knight was revealed, and 1 year later, it was released. This then became their one game, but one to remember because the community fell in love with it, and that led for DLC that came out later in Shovel Knight's life, which I will not be doing, but I should probably get back to the story. The game starts off with a couple screens showing the stories of our heroes, Shovel Knight and Shield Knight, that live off in a far-off land of, wait a sec, let me check. Dub-dub-dub, I'm a stuffed animal tree. Dub-dub-dub, oh. Dub-dub-dub, I'm a stuffed animal tree. Dub-dub-dub, dub-dub-dub-dub-dub-dub. Dub-dub-dub, I'm a stuffed animal tree. Dub-dub-dub, oh. Oh, there it is. In the far-off land of our world, years and years ago, but when a powerful evil awakens, Shovel Knight loses Shield Knight and is sent to a peaceful life of farming. Out of all the jobs, why farming? Oh, wait. Oh! I didn't catch on to that earlier. But his peaceful days are abruptly ruined when the Order of No Quarter rises again, setting up for a perfect indie game. This game is quite nice looking, even though it's going for the NES style, but I can see where they're coming from. But games aren't just about graphics. I mean, yes, if a game looked like crap and you couldn't tell what was going on, then yes, that's bad graphics. But for the most part, it's pretty good. That really isn't a problem. But I can think of a couple games. But that's for another day. For now, let's go into happier games and its music. Shovel Knight music was composed by Jake Kaufman. And it's awesome. I really only don't like one song in this whole game. It's Propeller Night Stage. But other than that, it's awesome. Because he knew what he was doing. He's been a composer for years and almost all of his songs are great too. Then there's the level design. So weirdly crafted that I died many, many times because of design. You're about to make a jump that doesn't seem that hard? No. An enemy comes in, blows you off the cliff. That happened to me about 10 times during the review. Show the montage. I hope I have a montage. And yet, weclome Games definitely knew it there. Oh boy, where do I start? Well, let's start with Shovel Knight himself. Of course, Shovel Knight has a shovel which has 2 attacks from the start of the game, the dig and the pogo jump. But Shovel Knight can get more moves as the game progresses. In fact, you can buy them with treasure. And if you can buy all 3 of them, he now has 3 more moves. The Charge Attack, the Spark of Death, and he can now dig up dirt piles in one foul swipe. Speaking of dirt piles, what are they? Well, of course, because Shovel Knight is Shovel Knight, he can dig these up and get treasure. What is treasure it was for? Well, buying stuff, of course. Great segue, Alex. Great segue. Well, gold is used to buy upgrades for your health and mana, which, by the way, I maxed out in this playthrough. But you can also use it to buy relics or second weapons for Shovel. Basically, what are second weapons for Shovel Knight? And by the way, the flare rod is the best relic. No, not the fire rod. No, not that either. Yeah, that's it. But of course, there are other ones. But I barely clicked any of them, which was burning up the completionist inside of me. But I wanted to beat the game as fast as I could because I was going for another achievement. Sadly, that I did not get. But speaking of achievements, in this game they're called feats, and they're actually kind of hard to get, well, most of them. Like, I'm looking at you beat the game without dying. Or beat the game under an hour and a half. You know what? Screw these achievements. I'm not completing this game. I'm gonna go play some Far Cry 4. Well then, we also have the armor you can buy with the charger. Most of the armor has pros and also cons, except for one that lets just do a flip. A flip and flip. But other than that, they're all pretty useful, and then we have the notes. The notes in the game are the collectibles, and you get 500 gold for each one. I still collected a few, so Holy crap, that was a mouthful. I really should put more sentences when I'm writing these scripts. Well, since the game was going for that old feel, it also comes with a difficulty. Well, while it's not as hard, it's close to that. It will definitely take some skill, but with some trial and error, you can do it. I mean, I'm usually terrible at games like this, but the controls are so good that when I die, I don't blame the game, I blame myself. Except for about 2 or 3 times. I'm looking at you underwater levels. That's about the only time I hated the game and its controls. And difficulty too. But either than that, this game is beatable by basically everyone. You've done it. You've beaten the Order of No Quarter, which includes King Knight, Spectre Knight, Plague Knight, Bull Knight, Treasure Knight, Tinker Knight, Polar Knight, and Propeller Knight. And you've also beaten Black Knight 2 times. You've also beaten some of the side bosses. It's time to take on the Enchantress. But first, we must progress up the Tower of Fate. And by far, these levels are the hardest part. These levels alone took me an hour and a half, which is crazy. These will take skill and will take knowledge. You have to remember every single enemy and its placement. But now, you beat the first level. And you beat Black Knight a 3rd time, which he finally reveals the secret that Shield Knight is the Enchantress. He then asks you to get her back. Moving on to the 2nd level. This level is a bit easier, which ends on a boss rush. Then you have a decision. You beat them, but they're hanging about to fall. Will you save them, or will you let them fall? Finally, the final level. You must traverse invisible blocks, then you fight her. Beating her once will release Shield Knight. Then you must catch her as she's falling out of the sky. And the 2nd stage begins, and you and Shield Knight are working together to beat her, which once again is really, really hard, but you've finally done it. All your work has paid off. You run off as the tower starts to fall, and Shield Knight sacrifices herself for you, but she comes out living. She limps over to you sleeping on the log, and sits down right beside you. So that's it, guys. That's Shovel Knight, and basically, I want to thank you guys for watching. And with that, I want to give the rating. And the rating is actually for this one. I think this is a really good game, and I'm gonna give it a continue. Yes, it does have its flaws. I didn't really mention in the review, but yeah, I do think there is some stuff wrong about it. Sometimes, like, the game doesn't live up to the hype. Like, I feel like this game, it's a little overrated. It's not like, oh, dimensions ahead overrated. It's like, it's there. You gotta get used to it, overrated. And that's basically how I think about this game. But yeah, this gets my rating of continue. Put continue up the screen, Alex. Okay. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and goodbye.